Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's video. We're going to have a look at the weather for next week to 10 days. For today's video, day 10 will take us to the 27th of November, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles. Maybe around a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at CFSV2 at the end of the video. The next 4 weeks, that will get us well into December. I shall get on that for you in a moment. Just to say that the first video release date was our 6 AM upload, and we've also released European Outlook as well, detailed look at the weather for the next week 10 days across Europe, so check out those 2 videos. We're going to have the 6th installment of the Christmas countdown coming up for you this evening. A little bit of fun for Christmas on the way this evening. So thank you so much, everybody. Please like, share, subscribe on the videos. Tell friends about to subscribe as well. We need to put on around 35 subscribers now, that's all, to get to 14.8k subs. Are moving quite quickly at the moment. Thank you so much for getting us this far. And if you could give us some and tell friends and family to subscribe, that would be absolutely great. And we thank you so very much, everybody, for doing that. I just want to say thank you so much to Francetta, who gave a super thanks a couple of days ago on I think Tuesday, 10 to 14 day. High pressure continues to lurk to the northeast. Very see. Thank you so much to Francetta for the incredible super thanks. Thank you so much for doing that. And on yesterday's live stream, I had a couple of donations, a couple of super chats from Kieran Bushell and from Josh. Wonderful work. Nature and weather at the end of the live stream. I forgot to shout out the both of them, the 2 super chatters. So I will do that at the beginning of Friday night's live stream, of course. And I just say thank you so much, to Kieran and to Josh for that. Thank you to each and every one of you for the support that you give to me and to GavsWeatherVids. It's absolutely amazing and incredible. Thank you so much to Francetta for the super thanks. If you'd like to give a super thanks, all you need to do is click the thanks button, which YouTube is kind of hiding at the moment, but there it is. So click the super thanks button, and that's how you do that. Sometimes it'll appear along this bar just here. Other times it's hidden away behind the 3 dots. So, just YouTube being YouTube. And talking of that, they're also started hiding the live stream. So this is the GavsWeatherVids YouTube homepage, the GavsWeatherVids YouTube channel homepage. Now, you used to be able to find the live streams here on this playlist just here, which was like everything that we upload and whatnot. You don't find, or sometimes you, sometimes don't find the live streams on that bar there. So if you want to have a look back at the live streams, then you need to go up here and click the live tab just there, and that takes you to all of the live streams that we've ever done, actually. So they're kind of hidden away. I'm not sure why they're doing that. They make changes where there was absolutely no problem in the first place, kind of. And there was never a problem with having the live streams appearing within this upload playlist, really. But anyway, that's what YouTube are doing now. So if you want to look back at the live streams, you can go through the links that we provide on the social media channels, or you can just click the live, the live tab there, and that will take you to the live streams, and you'll be able to watch them back on demand and on catch up. Not my fault, it's YouTube being YouTube again. Right, well, all that said, let's crack on with the video then. So we're going to start off, it hasn't been wet recently, going to start off with the radar picture. Look at this, massive rain still there across many central, northern and eastern parts of the country. We've had around 17 hours of continuous rain here at the towers. It is turning drier now, actually. We're just going into that drier edge just there. So we're over the worst of it, but many areas are still very wet, And the rain is going to carry on and drift a little bit further northwards over the rest of the afternoon and into the evening. Lots of heavy showers following along behind as well. And of course, there's more wet weather on the way for the weekend and for next week too. And it is a lot cooler now as well. So these are latest temperature observations from XC Weather. You can see we've only got 2 degrees there at Castledurg in Northern Ireland. Got 14 degrees down here in the Channel, but many areas a lot cooler. Farnborough at just 12 degrees, Oxford at just 11, Church Lawford at just 9, Nottingham at 9, of course it's pouring with rain there, Doncaster also pouring with rain, probably 10 degrees, Walcott 10, Newcastle 9, Chatterhall just 8 degrees, Strathallan 9 degrees, Aviemore 8 degrees, Oughara 9 degrees into Wales, Lake Berwyn at 9 degrees, Sennybridge at 8 degrees, and Liscombe down in southwestern England at just 9 degrees, and Cardigan at 9 degrees. So temperatures have declined a lot compared to where they were this time last week, when it was exceptionally mild or warm, of course. And yeah, autumn has properly set in now. Cold and wet day out there. So central temperature is beginning to start reducing. The CET is now standing at 10.6, which is 4.2 degrees above average. That's provisional to yesterday, to the 16th of November. That's going to carry on coming down over the next few days. I think by the beginning of next week it'll be into the 9s, and we wait and see where that's going to go. It's going to be a significantly milder than average month. We're not going to get enough cold weather, or any cold weather really, to bring that down to average. So I reckon we'll probably be a couple of degrees above average again, very much where we've been with many of the anomalies through this exceptionally warm year. This is the these were GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles. Next couple of weeks, what Birmingham today, brick line, is a 30-year upper air temperature average for Birmingham. We're starting off round average at the moment. We're actually going to go a little bit cooler than average with the upper air temperatures through the end of week into the weekend and the beginning of next week. And then to the closing days of November, we see that the upper air temperature is just starting to edge back upwards again a little bit, but that could be associated with higher pressure, so not necessarily turning all that mild on the surface. If that's high pressure causing that lift up in the upper air temperature, then on the surface could actually be quite cold with frost fall. But there is a bit of a warming trend there as we go into the closing stages of December. And it remains very unsettled, regular bouts of rain to come. So the deluge goes on. It is going to be a bit of a deluge second half to November, I'm afraid. Let's have a quick look at the extended ensembles, shall we? So that's how they're looking. I'm so sorry, everybody. So again, red line 30-year upper air temperature average for Birmingham. This gets us towards the Christmas period. Just here. So there's a little bit of cooler interlude over the next few days. Going a bit milder right at the very end of November into. I'm so sorry. Once again, I got a bit of tickle in my throat. Going very mild, going milder into the closing stages of November and the start of December. I bet just quite close to average, really, as we go further on into December. There's no sign of anything particularly cold. There are a bit colder ensemble members up here, but they're being offset by milder ensemble members up there. So not much sign of like a prolonged cold spell setting up there. But within the spaghetti, within all the scatter, maybe there will be. Precipitation-wise, looks very wet at the earlier stage of the ensemble through the rest of November. Also, I have got a bit of a drying trend as we go off into December, though. So that could imply that December is a more anticyclonic month, a drier month. And so, therefore, those upper air temperatures not necessarily telling you everything that you need to know there, because if high pressure is dominating in December, it is likely that it will probably be quite cold with frost and fog and whatnot. Temperature anomalies from the 17th to the 25th of November. Going to be a little bit above average. Not a particularly big deviation, but still not really coming down to anything particularly cool. And precipitation anomalies from the 17th to 25th of November. Wetter than normal. Quite a wet week to come. Latest weather map from earthnullschool.net shows that we've got low pressure dominating the weather. That's where the low pressure is centred off the coast of East Anglia. Ahead of it, we're actually bringing in the wind from the east, and behind it, we're bringing in the wind from the west. This is the battle that's going on. We've got a Scandinavian high sitting up here, but wants to ultimately bring the air out of Russia and, bring us cold weather. But the low pressure from the Atlantic wants to keep the Atlantic winds going, and in between, of course, we've got low pressure weather. So this battle will continue through the next few days as well. Right, let's start going through the chart data then. So this is how the latest UK Met Euro run is looking at midnight on Sunday. Low pressure coming in from off the Atlantic, bringing outbreaks of rain. So that might turn a little bit wintry over high ground in the north on Saturday night. Coming up against this area of high pressure, blocking over Scandinavia, of course. Further low pressure dominates into the early part of next week. That looks very unsettled, especially focused on England and Wales, where you would have thought plenty of rain to come. And we have more. And I am so sorry once again, everybody. I don't know what's happened to my throat. Goodness gracious me. So that's how look as we get to 168 hours with more low pressure heading in from off the Atlantic, bringing spells of wet and windy weather with it. Icon looks like that. Am I going to get to the end of this? I don't know. I might just die before I get it wrapped up. If I just disappear, then don't worry, it's only died. Right, here we go. Icon looks like that with more low pressure coming in off the Atlantic, bringing spells of wet and windy weather, with it going to be very unsettled over the weekend and into next week. That low focus on southern parts of the country. Be sensible, Gav. Do the day job. Through next week, low pressure again keeps coming from off the Atlantic, bringing more spells of rain. You'll notice heights are lowering over Scandinavia, so it looks like with time, the low pressure beginning to win the battle, at least temporarily there. GFS midnight run again, all much of a muchness, lots of wet and windy weather over the weekend and into next week as well, with spells of rain heading in from off the Atlantic with these deep areas of low pressure. However, beyond daytime, there is a little bit of a change. High pressure starting to ridge in from the south and southwest. That's a relatively mild ridge, but it might bring some overnight frost and fog. It doesn't last for long. Low pressure back in again by month's end. And that takes us into an unsettled and wet opening to December. That gets to the 3rd of December. And that'll be winter updates, winter forecast eve, of course. Wow. Let's run off on a tangent. So that looks really unsettled and quite mild as well. To be honest, high pressure getting going around Spain once again. Right, okay, GFS 6Z, once more low pressure just dominating weather from off the Atlantic through the weekend and into the early part of next week too. Through next week, the low pressure keeps coming, bouts of rain continue. You'll notice the high pressure perhaps holds on just a little bit better across Scandinavia there, as we... oh dear me. I'm gonna be virtually had it, I think. I don't know what's happened to me. High pressure just keeps going there over Scandinavia. I'm going to get to the end of this. I am going to get to the end of it. High pressure keeps going over Scandinavia there as we get to the end of next week. Perhaps a little bit better on the 6Z compared to the midnight GFS rate. Doesn't lower the heights quite as much. I'm going to stop the video. I think I have a glass of water. Right, well, he's still alive. Don't worry, I've not died yet. Right, well, I've had some water, and I've had a couple of puffs of inhaler, and we'll see what happens, shall we? See what happens. Right then, so I'm going to carry on. Here we go. So where did we get to? We got to day 10, didn't we? With the GFS 6 27th of November. Low pressure out to west. We bring up a relatively large southerly wind there, but notice the heights are holding a little bit better over Scandinavia with the GFS 6 compared to the midnight run. Beyond that, into the more extended range, the low pressures keep coming, so there will be further bouts of rain. We almost get wind into the east, though, to the northern side of those areas of low pressure. So we are very, very close to putting cold air in from the east with the GFS 6Z. But as it is, it remains relatively mild and wet up to the beginning of December. But then here comes the break. Low pressure pushes eastwards and is back just beginning. Start turning wind into a colder north or northeasterly. That's the 3rd of December, over 2 weeks away. Really long way out. But cold air is poised just to our north, start pushing southward. So could that be hinting that the first week of December turns a lot colder? I don't know, it's a long way out. We've got a new parallel run, which I haven't shown you lately. I haven't shown you it up to this point, but we have got a new parallel run. At the end of November, this will become the new GFS operational run. I thought it would include it today from Metro Seal. So this situation, of course, is low pressure coming in from Atlantic, coming against a high pressure that is over Scandinavia, and these areas of low pressure keep very unsettled weather going right way through into the final week of November. Beyond that, low pressure again dominating weather up to the end of the month. Notice we're drawing up southerly winds again there around the 27th, 28th of November, but that is beginning to bring warm air of action, but raises higher pressure to the east of it over the continent. So look what the parallel GFS run is doing by month's end, developing a nice Scandinavian high and starting to pull in an easterly wind. And so the GFS parallel run does turn significantly colder as we get to the beginning of December with a Scandinavian high and with winds coming in from the east. Those easts will probably deliver snow showers to southern and eastern areas there by Thursday. That's very, very reminiscent. Most of a certain age, like me, will remember that's very, very reminiscent to what happened at the beginning of December 1995. Throughout, certainly since the summer anyway, this year, there has been quite a similarity to 1995 between 2022. So could we end up with a Scandinavian high and a cold east wind bringing snow showers as we go into the beginning of December, as we did in 1995? I wonder. Remember, it's a long way out. That's over 2 weeks away. We don't know. I don't know how reliable the parallel run is. In theory, it should be an upgrade on the latest GFS operation run, the most recent GFS operation run. So we'll have to wait and see. If you enjoyed the video, then please do like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Drop a comment. Let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. And don't forget to your friends and family to subscribe as well. Thank you so much. I think the cough is settling down. Famous last words. GM again showing low pressure in profit anti, bringing spells of rain with it, more low pressure piling in actually into the early part of next week as well. The low pressures just keep coming really with the GM, and then right at the very end we start getting this ridge building from Spain and France up towards the Siberian high over Russia, and that starts to drag up an exceptionally mild long fetch southwesterly up comes to plus 10 Celsius isotherm again by day 10. But again, could that promote ridging to the northeast? Could that eventually, ultimately, bring warm air advection by the beginning of December and build up a Scandinavian high? I wonder. And then the ECM at WF looks like that. So once more, low pressure coming in from off the Atlantic, bringing plenty of rain through weekend and into next week as well. The low pressures just keep on rolling rain until we get around day 9 and 10, and then higher pressure beginning to build across northern and west Europe. That looks like a colder ridge there, but it has built up in the southwest, but it's not really bringing that long effect southwesterly that the GEM is doing, so that probably brings an increasing risk of frost and fog towards November. Of course, the interesting factor is whether that eventually gets itself up to Scandinavia, though, by month end. This is a precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from Meteo.com. Plenty of low pressure, bringing showers and longer spells of rain too. Could be a little snow over the northern half of the country on Saturday night and into Sunday morning, that's particularly over high ground, followed by showers, and then more heavy rain sweeps in from off the Atlantic. Deluge goes on into the early part of next week. Notice even in like southern areas there are a few little splotches of green there, indicating perhaps some slight winteriness within some of those areas of low pressure. Right, we're moving on up towards day 10 and further showers, longer spells of rain until we get this break, until we get this ridge building through the country around day 9, 10, and then we are drying out. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10, which gets us to the 27th of November. 14 members of the ECM ensembles with lots of low pressure out to west of the country, bringing plenty of wet and windy weather with it. 9 with low pressure in from off the Atlantic, so again that looks pretty unsettled. We've got another 9 just here with high pressure over Scandinavia, low pressure out to the west. That's a proper old battle going on there, probably bringing heavy rain into western areas, drier in the east, perhaps a bit colder in the east. 7 again with low pressure, bringing lots of wet weather from off the Atlantic. 6 dominated by low pressure, and then another 6 including the operation run, which tells us that today's operation run is not all that well supported by its ensembles, has this ridge building up from the south up towards Scandinavia. So that idea at day 10, that chart there, is not all that well supported by the ECM ensembles. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we have. And it gets us to the 2nd of December. We've got 14 members of the ECM ensembles with low pressure, deep low pressure over country. There is a little bit of blocking to the north, so of course that will be very unsettled. We've got 10 with high pressure taking over from Greenland to Scandinavia, low pressure going to the south. That'll be pulling in a colder easterly wind, and we would have to consider whether this low, the south-southwest, as it engages with colder air, whether that might start delivering something wintry. 8, also with blocking to the north, low pressure is to the south, and again that could be bringing in quite a cold easterly wind. Could that low pressure south be delivering some snow on its northern edge? We've got 8 with low pressure out to the west, high pressure, a wall of high pressure to the east. That's going to be a milder option because that'll have a wind in from the southwest. We've got 7 with low pressure over to the east of the coast. That's trying to pull down quite a cold northerly, but high pressure to our west and southwest, trying to keep the milder air going from the Atlantic. And then another 4 with high pressure just to our south and southwest, low pressure to the north and winds in from a westerly direction. So a range of options there, actually. A lot of options on the table. There might be some colder weather by the beginning of December with easterly winds, but you know, it is also possible that it could stay relatively mild. CFSB2 lastly, and I'm looking forward to getting this one wrapped up. 500 millibar high torrent bring down to week periods. The first week period takes from the 17th to 23rd of November. The coming week dominated by low pressure in from off the Atlantic, so looking really unsettled there. Week 2 is going to be the 24th of November to the 30th. Again, low pressure's in off the Atlantic. High pressure is to the northeast, but not able to bring us anything particular, except that's to the far north of Scotland. Week 3 will be the 1st to the 7th of December. Lots of blocking this week, a lot of northern blocking, but despite that, low pressure continues over to the north of the country, high pressure through Spain, and so we stay mild with that despite the blocking. And then week 4 is going to be the 8th to the 14th of December. again, low pressure continues just to our west and northwest, high pressure around Spain. That keeps the wind in from off the Atlantic, despite, again, big area of high pressure sitting across the northeast of Europe, but wants to bring in easterly winds. It's not able to, so to the west of Europe anyway, because we remain with the Atlantic-driven scenario. So the CFS is chopping and changing mode day by day with weeks 3 and 4, end of November, beginning or first half of December. So let's wait and see what it's showing tomorrow. And we're done. If you enjoyed the video, when we got there in the end, please do you like, share, and subscribe. Gav's a trooper though, isn't he? Gav's a trooper. The show must go on. The show must go on. So sorry everyone. Yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please do you like, share, subscribe. Make sure to drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. And don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids as well. It's amazing and it's incredible, and we thank you so very much, everyone. But doing that, right, so we got there in the end. I'm so sorry about all of the coughing and spluttering, but we got there, you know. I persevered, and that's it. The show has to go on, doesn't it? So thank you so much, everybody, for sticking with it. Right, so we're going to be back later on with the 6th instalment of the Christmas Countdown. Tomorrow, we've got the 6 a.m. upload. We've got Jerry Friday. Got a 10 to 14 day for you as well. And we're going to be live streaming, of course, after 10 p.m. We'll have our Friday night live stream. And I shall see you for that one, of course. Right, so see you later on for the Christmas Countdown. But for this video, that's all for now. And thanks so much for watching.